Marcus Aurelius once said, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." We often perceive the opinions of others. Let me rephrase that. Our ego perceives the opinions of others as objective truths. When someone says to us, "Look man, I like you, but sometimes you talk too fast and I can't really catch up," our mind, our ego, automatically takes that as an insult. The reason why it takes it as an insult is because it believes what this person is saying. We automatically assume that what this person is saying is an objective truth, that is an absolute fact. But you must understand that the opinions of others are opinions, making them subjective and making them unreliable. When someone approaches you and provides you with their opinion about you, you have two ways to respond to their opinion. One is constructively, and the second is destructively. Let's talk about the destructively first. Someone approaches you and says, "Look man, I like you very much, but sometimes you do talk a bit too much." You can either take that as constructively and destructively. The destructive response would be taking that as an insult, viewing that as an insult, taking offense to what that person is saying, and responding with impulsivity and anger. So a destructive response would be something like, "What'd you just say to me? How dare you say that to me? That's not the case. Listen, man, leave me alone." Once again, this is only one opinion, right? So it's very unreliable. The constructive way of approaching this situation, the constructive response would be, "Thank you for sharing your opinion. I appreciate your feedback as it means a lot to me." Now, if you take their opinion and you reflect upon your life, you reflect upon what they've said exactly. So they said how you talk too much. You can either disagree or agree with what they're saying. So during your self-reflection, do you agree with this individual? Do you disagree with this individual? Do you actually talk too much? Or is what they're saying unreliable or false in your opinion? That way, you can take what they're saying and improve upon that specific area of your life. Once again, someone might say, "Look man, I like you, but you're very bad at football." Reflect upon your life. Reflect upon that specific point in your life. Are you really good at football? Are you really bad at football? Is what they're saying true? Your perception of external factors, like the opinions of others, and many more, will significantly alter your reality. As Plato once said, reality is created in the mind. You can change your reality once you change your mind. This quote is relevant to what we're talking about because once again, how you perceive the insult, or how you perceive someone's opinion about you will significantly alter your reality and how you respond to their opinion. I want to give you an example of how this can be portrayed. A few years ago, I was at school and one day I fell down the stairs because it was raining and the stairs were slippery, etc. There were many people around me, right? And as I fell, instantly my ego told me, "Oh my God, everyone's laughing at me. This is bad, this is really bad." I took a moment to just process everything. I fell down the stairs, people are laughing at me. What can I really do in this situation? The only thing I can do is control my response to this situation. I can either take this personally and be embarrassed, right? Or I can laugh it off, not taking it personally, and simply moving on with my life. Now, I could have taken it personally. I could have been embarrassed. I could have let it ruin my day, my mood, but I didn't, because I understood that if I did, what would be the point in that? It's something out of my control. People laughing at me, out of my control. What I can do is control my response to these things. And my response was influenced by my perception of the situation. I didn't view it as embarrassing. I didn't take it personally. I understood that people were laughing at me. Sure, that kind of hurt, but it didn't hurt to the extent where I let my ego take control. If people are talking about you, gossiping about you, or let's say you're in a presentation, you're in front of the whole class, people are whispering to each other about you, looking at you, laughing at you, you have two options. you can either take that personally, view it as embarrassing, or you don't take it personally. You carry on with your presentation. You carry on with your life, because at the end of the day, once you allow the opinions of others to control you, that's when those people become your master. Going back to Plato's quote, reality is created in the mind. When you believe something, majority of the time you manifest it into reality. When you believe embarrassment being true, or when you believe the situation you're in is embarrassing, guess what happens? The situation does become embarrassing. You take it personally. The situation 10x's in terms of stress, right? So the stress level of the situation 10x's because you're perceiving it as embarrassing. In reality, it's nothing. The situation is just the situation, right? It's not embarrassing. It's not funny. It's nothing. It's what the people make it as well as what you make it. The importance is what you make it. It doesn't matter what people think. People, sure, in their perception, they may perceive that situation as embarrassing, but how do you perceive it? Now, changing your perception isn't something that happens overnight. You won't change your perception immediately after watching this video. Sure, you may do, but not to the extent where you will find its full effects and results. Changing your perception takes a long time. Paradigm shifts happen quite often, but it depends on what you do with your life. If you constantly experience different experiences where you're uncomfortable in these situations, then you will experience a paradigm shift. You getting robbed or someone embarrassing you, whatever it is, whatever stressful situation you may be experiencing, you will experience a paradigm shift which will change your perception, alter your reality, and in essence, create a new version of yourself. To conclude this, what I want to say is this: what you believe it is. If you believe the situation you're in currently is embarrassing, then it becomes embarrassing. If you believe the situation you're in currently is scary, then it becomes scary. Whatever you believe the situation is, it becomes that. And it changes your reality. That becomes your reality. Your reality becomes embarrassing. Your reality becomes scary. Your reality becomes funny. So next time you're faced with someone's opinion about you or something that's embarrassing, quote unquote, take a moment to think about how you can respond to this situation. Before impulsively responding and letting your ego control you, respond with calmness, rationality, and take a moment before you respond. I want to end this video with Marcus Aurelius' quote once more. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective and not the truth.